Mida show piwi nigagwejamagao, enumwewadung de bigagi gidud. And now I'll ask Sheldon Boyd, Secretary Treasurer, to come to the podium. He will convene the third session of the 19th Assembly.
Good morning, everyone. We're doing things a little different this year due to national health issues that we're all aware of. Therefore, I'd like to greet all those in attendance online and all the folks here today. It's that time again to talk about things and look forward to the next year. The sun is low, the days are short, but the natural sense among people is the knowledge that the days will get longer, the sun will climb, and brighter days are coming. This gives people thoughts of renewal and hopes for better days this coming year. During these short days, the old people from years ago spoke about sitting around listening to elders tell stories. It's those times, and even today, a person will remember a single phrase that stays with them for the rest of their lives. I'm going to refer to some of those phrases today from my past. This is also a time chosen by our past leaders to speak about government, matters that affect the people of the band overall, and share a sense of renewal and better days ahead. Hopefully these words will find you, whether you're on historic communities across the north or homes and apartments in the metro areas across the state and the nation. Whether you're waiting for a ride, sitting at your kitchen table, or watching this on your phone someday in the future, it is with warm greetings and great respect that we in the legislative branch say to you all, Ani and bonjour, good morning, we hope this day finds you well. This past year has been unprecedented in memory for us. I remember hearing an old person once use the word fire as a description for calamity, both natural and man-made, that can take lives, disrupt communities, and cripple nations. There's a fire in the political world that needs to be sorted out and in Washington, D.C. and nationally. We can all help that by not letting issues further divide us, agree to disagree, and continue on our shared journey. Locally, there were stories of confrontation and yelling in the old community centers and public meetings, where those same people would be seen outside after talking and sharing a good laugh. There was a fire this summer of social statement nationwide by people of all social backgrounds, continuing the uncomfortable conversation of lifetimes of inequalities in this country because of a person's skin color. This stirred a nation to look in the mirror, where many of us experienced a mental and emotional inventory. But what did not discriminate for almost all of us was a pandemic. The witness of human reactions to this pandemic now gives some insight to the pandemics in history books and the realization of the complexities of human behavior. This pandemic can also be put into perspective regionally as one of the many fires to befall the Anishinaabe and our neighbors over time. We must all be thankful to health professionals, parents, grandparents, and our children for caring for one another. We also offer our condolences to those who lost loved ones during this time, during this mental and physical test of nature. The old people talked of flood stories and smallpox, termination and removal. Recent generations have witnessed firsthand the fires of alcohol and powerful drugs. These are the times to take stock in the strength of our communities, support each other, and try to remember and speak of the best things. Someone will remember a phrase you say that will stay with them the rest of their lives. Okay, moving on, I'll highlight some of the many accomplishments of the elected officials of the legislative branch and the staff that I have the pleasure of working with. I'll close with what I believe to be the next major financial step for the Mille Lacs Band. Under the Mille Lacs Band law, the Secretary-Treasurer has a dual role as Speaker of the Assembly for the legislature. All these positions of service and duty are tasked with being responsible for accomplishing set goals and improve the general welfare of the people within the specific authority granted under Mille Lacs Band law. Among the duties of the Speaker of the Assembly are to require the prompt recording of the Assembly's acts and deeds. It is with great pride to announce on September 2nd, 2020, the Legislative Order 30-20 was passed by the Band Assembly, ordering live streaming of sessions to commence June 1st, 2021. The Band Assembly chambers have recently been retrofitted with 5 new large screens, a new audio-video system, microphones, and a portable system for Band Assembly to broadcast from locations where connectivity allows. This live streaming will change the experience of Mille Lacs Band members who choose to listen to the processes and legislative sessions. Membership will see that government is made up of people with flaws and strengths, insight and emotion, and be able to observe the many issues that are involved with tribal government moving forward. Also, Legislative Order 2720, passed on July 8th, 2020, some legislative staff positions were reclassified to permanent level status. This is intended to aid in the transition of power within the legislative branch by having institutional staff assist incoming officials with historic knowledge to impact the learning curve of elected office. I remember an old person saying that long time ago, there was a person that walked through the village and talked out loud about things that concerned all the people. This person kept people informed with a common message that helped people know what was going on. On December 2nd, 2020, the Band Assembly passed a bill. Then Chief Executive Melanie Benjamin signed into law the creation of the Office of Reviser of Statutes within the legislative branch. This was a project of Band Assemblies in years past that was brought across the finish line by the hard work and collaboration of this legislative staff. Congratulations to all those involved. This leads to the announcement, a little bit about the Reviser of Statutes. The Office of the Reviser of Statutes will independently care for the language in statutes for consistency and timeliness, prepare draft legislation for district representatives, and the publication of statutes. Also key is the law authorizes the establishment of a tribal register where policies and official orders from the elected, appointed officials, and the 3 branches of government can be accessed. This leads to the announcement now of the statutes of the laws of the Mille Lacs Band that have been published for the first time in over 15 years in a hardcover, softcover, online, and electronic form. I have a copy of that right here. These just came in last night. This is really nice. This is cool. Please congratulate Staff Attorney Hannah Valento for the hard work on this project, Legislative Counsel Adam Candler, Valeria Harrington, the collaboration of all staff to make this possible. An important addition last year was the first Mille Lacs Band member as Commissioner of Finance in over 15 years, Mal Toll. Mal. Mal brings the unique perspective of being a Mille Lacs Band member, and he certainly voices that perspective, has a skill set to work productively with all involved and keep the finances of the band his priority. Congratulations, Mal. Good to have you. Now, no other elected position in Mille Lacs Band government is as specifically bound to the overall financial matters than the Secretary-Treasurer. There are two specific duties under band law that were the driving force behind today's report: to receive and receipt all monies paid into the band treasury and safely keep the same until lawfully dispersed by formal appropriation. And the other one is to investigate financial irregularities. And what may be the hallmark project of this term is a first-time independent assessment of 5 non-gaming financial entities of the band. Now, during the gaming era, the Mille Lacs Band has responsibly put revenue to work in investment portfolios, the war chest or nest egg, if you will, for unforeseen times, both natural and man-made. While carrying out the duties, the knowledge came that many tribes across the nation do not have the internal resources to effectively manage investments. Tribal governments have come to rely on outside people, investment advisors, and fund management resources over the years. The Mille Lacs Band government is no different. Nationally, tribes are beginning to take a more active role in the management of financial assets. Relying on outside financial investment services has existed for as long as the Mille Lacs Band has had money to invest, some 20-plus years, and resulted in long relationships built on friendship and trust. Within the first 6 months of taking office, it became apparent there needed to be a review of those investment relationships. There were common sense questions about the investments of the band where there were no ready answers. Questions based on the duties of the Secretary-Treasurer under Mille Lacs Band law. There was a basic position that helped keep focus through this, and that was investment managers are not doing the band a favor simply by investing our money. The band is doing them a favor by allowing them to invest our money, and the band must regularly inventory those services. Upon taking office, Commissioner of Finance Malatoll believed financial services should be put out to bid regularly. So how does the Secretary-Treasurer act in good faith and exercise great care in keeping the funds of the people of the Mille Lacs Band safe? Staff began a nationwide search for a balance of financial expertise and experience of working with Native American tribes to perform a first ever independent analysis of the investments of the Mille Lacs Band. On July 16, 2020, the Mille Lacs Band Assembly authorized a contract between the Secretary-Treasurer and Sovereign Finance, LLC, to perform this evaluation. Please extend thanks to Wendy Merrill, Christine Jordan, Adam Candler, Rich Burley, Mal Toll, Sean O'Keefe, Brianna Boyd, and many others who offered advice, freely shared their knowledge of investments, and the unwavering support of the elected officials. Finally, to the staff of Sovereign Finance, LLC, Jeff Lamb, Todd Early, Courtney Montero, and their respective staff. Now, the scope of the evaluation included 5 financial entities: the band's benefits, or 401ks, of the government, Woodlands National Bank, the St. Paul Foundation, where band funds were invested in 2011 for philanthropic purposes, and finally, long-term and minor trust investment portfolios. Now, of the first 3, I'll be brief here for purposes of time. The Mille Lacs Band 401k benefits package received passing scores. The St. Paul Foundation received high marks for investment management of band funds. Woodlands Bank also received high marks when compared to banks of similar size and assets. We should all congratulate Woodlands Bank President Ken Villebro, management staff, and the employees of all branches of the Woodlands Bank system. Please keep in mind, with the exception of the Woodlands Bank system, all these non-gaming financial entities need substantial restructuring and improvement. We have a lot of work ahead of us. An elder once said to me, where investors are concerned, it's just like the trader at the trading post long time ago. They had the upper hand, controlled prices, made huge profits, and all business knowledge wasn't shared. The Mille Lacs Band owes Sovereign Finance, LLC, an immeasurable debt. This report sheds light on 20 years of a financial relationship that was based on factors that were counterintuitive to proper and accountable oversight, according to industry investment standards. The report is several hundred pages long, was presented to elected leaders of the band on October 14, 2020, on behalf of the Secretary-Treasurer. Due to the nature of the financial information and the economic security of the people of the Mille Lacs Band, at this time the report remains under review. The evaluation report has shown a need for improvement at every level of these investment management relationships. It's time for the Mille Lacs Band to take a more active role in investment management. Like other tribes, we have outgrown decades-old financial safeguards, and we must retool our internal processes and standards. We can and we will do better. Now, this evaluation was the first step. There's a steep learning curve of the investment management principles involved, and changes will be recommended moving forward. The internal investment structures of the band need to be redesigned to accommodate our investments now and in the future. For now, these proposals are fluid in nature and will include a permanent investment fund management entity meant to endure changes in leadership and establish internal protocols to begin responsible management moving forward. A call will be made to membership to begin career preparations to meet this potential new field in tribal government. A new field similar to the early 1990s when casino management was just a dream. Investment management. We must begin managing our investments for the coming generations, and we can do it ourselves. We can begin exploring the meaning of a phrase by Courtney Montero of Sovereign Finance during the report presentation, and that's financial sovereignty. Okay, this concludes the update for the current matters within the legislative branch during the past year. I'd like to recognize the staff within the legislative branch. It is with profound thanks to recognize current legislative staff who have made my time here so enjoyable. Parliamentarian Darcy Bigbear, legislative staff Kiana Morrison, Samira Kimson, staff attorneys Adam Candler, Joe Jensen, and Hannah Valento. Those people under legislative order are meant to be the permanent core of the legislative branch moving forward. Legislative Director Brianna Boyd and Communications Director Valeria Harrington are Mille Lacs Band members who have taken on critical roles and will continue to operate through leadership circles for years to come. Special thanks goes to the staff of the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, unsung heroes, period. Also, the overall accomplishments mentioned today here are only made possible by the partnership of the elected leaders of the Mille Lacs Band and their staff. District 1 Representative Virgil Wynn, District 2 Representative Marvin Bruno, District 3 Representative Wally St. John, who comprise the Mille Lacs Band Assembly, and Chief Executive Melanie Benjamin. These individuals have shown a willingness to have frank conversations, sort out differences, and above all, compromise, and keep the interests of the people of the Mille Lacs Band the first priority. Now, on to the business of the day. This is the start of the third session of the 19th Assembly. The Mille Lacs Band Assembly will now hear the State of the Band address by the duly elected Chief Executive Melanie Benjamin and the State of the Judiciary address presented by Chief Justice Ramona Applegate. As Speaker of the Assembly, I call to order a regular session on Tuesday, January 12, 2021 at
11:55 a.m.
11:55. We'll do a roll call, please.
District 1 Representative Virgil Wind.
Present.
District 2 Representative Marvin Bruno.
Present.
And District 3 Representative Wallace St. John Sr.
Present.
We have a quorum. Item number 2 is approval of the agenda. We need a motion to do that.
Mr. Speaker, if I may, I'd like to motion to approve the agenda, please.
There's a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
There is a second.
Seconded by Wally. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Under approval of minutes, there's none. And now we move on to the reports and presentations as per Mille Lacs Band statute.